position is now is I'm working off of a grant. I don't work for the state no more. I work for Polk County, and it's a grant that they have to pay. It goes year to year, and it pays to get the cases caught up due to all of the backlog due to the COVID thing that came around. So there was a whole lot of cases that didn't get done, and no court was happening because of COVID. Nobody could be there. So now that position has been created, and my semi-retirement, which really began the first of this year, allows me to only work so many hours due to me drawing Social Security now that I can only draw so much money.
Okay.
Or they'll penalize it and take my money from me. So that's what I do. But also, in being on that grant, it does not allow me to work on any case that doesn't involve catching up the COVID cases. So basically, as far as being able to work anything like that is off of my plate now.
Okay. So that would be Bowman?
It back with the sheriff. The sheriff is in control of that. That is Sheriff Williams.
Okay.
And his investigators that he has assigned to that. And Lee was with us that day when we sat down with those two investigators, which was the original investigator, but then there was a second investigator that came with him. And I can't remember his name now, but Lee was there for that meeting.
Okay.
So I officially passed it off. But since then, my wife was having all kind of medical issues way back when I started working this thing.
Yeah.
And so I worked through all that, but then only to have that I had what they call a silent heart attack after I had taken this new position. And so I've had to deal with that. I'm healed now and I'm fine, but I did have to go through that. So I was hospitalized and had to go through some heart minor surgery kind of things that they done to clear up all the things and stuff. So I'm doing fine now. But just to put it to you, it's back at that Sheriff Williams is in control of how and when that case goes forward or not.
All right.
And that's where it's supposed to be.
All right.
And he is the one that should be dictating to his investigators how to investigate it and what to do with it. And now, if they do their full investigation, which I recommended or we all sitting there, that they could take what we provided them and what they had done before and to pursue it and try to take it where I wanted to go with it while I was handling it. And what they've done with it, I don't know, but I'm not their boss. But the sheriff is their boss.
What was your take on it when you pursued it, when you was going to pursue it? I mean,
my take on it was there were several things that needed to be done, and one of them was to head over, call Dr. Thomas over at GBI, who was the pathologist involved in this, and because she ruled it as being a suicide. Well, the first hurdle that's got to be gotten over is to get her to look at the new evidence that was put together and that we turned over to him, which was an additional stuff that she needs to know, but that it takes actually sitting down with her, looking at it and talking to her about it to get her to at least change it from suicide to unknown, at least, if not murder.
Right.
So that's the first hurdle, because then it opens up doors that are not open right now, because until the pathologist that handled the case changes her decision about that really's got the door shut.
Right. So you presented to them new evidence, more or less, then some more.
Well, yeah, there was additional stuff. I mean, there was people that needed to be talked to. There was circumstantial evidence that not only myself but Lee had uncovered, which I actually built on what Lee turned over to me.
Yeah.
Which was there was enough information there to do some interviews and like I said, go see the GBI, tell them that that's new information that they got that she didn't have at the time that she made the initial call on that and made the determination that she did, and it needs to be moved forward. That's what needs to happen. Now, that was my take on it. That's what I would have done if I wasn't handed off. That's what I would have done. My next thing would be calling Dr. Thomas, and I'd be asking her if I could come see her.
Oh, okay. Well, you know Bowman for a while. I mean, in your honest opinion, I mean, do you think he's going to pursue it?
I don't know. Like I said, that if it were me, if it's the sheriff and them are, every place, because of what we just come through with all the COVID crap that's going on, it's affected every agency in the United States. every agency,
Yeah.
and they're all strapped to have anybody even at work to do the job.
Right.
I mean, it's like they're trying to fill gaps that they can't even fill, to have people actually go out and actually answer calls, much less conduct an investigation. You know what I'm saying? It's because they don't have the personnel. But just look right around and look at the marquees outside the fast food restaurants, and every one of them said hiring, giving you starting you off at $20 an hour, and $5,000 sign-on bonuses that some signs are posting out. Well, those are the marquees that you're reading out here and seeing, but the ones that you're not reading and seeing, but you do see on some billboards, is a lot of police agencies are putting up billboards saying hiring, needing people, you know what I'm saying, all these different places. So you've got to factor that in, and that's beyond the sheriff's control or any other control. Is he has to have people in those positions there just to go out and answer the emergency calls that come in. That's his first line. He's got to have the first line of people to go out and do that. The next line of people that he's got to be fully staffed on is those investigators to follow up on those cases that are coming in 24/7.
All right,
So,
and I not to interrupt you there, but I'm at work too. I was just trying to call just to get a quick checkup. But okay, well I'll call later and Bowman to see what's going on, Sheriff Williams. Then. All right, thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you.